Hello, beautiful person. I'm really glad you're here. Welcome back to Becoming Her, a series about confidence, relationships, travel, and becoming the woman you know you're capable of being. Think of this as your daily big sister reminder, the things I learned the hard way so you don't have to. And today we are talking about something simple but powerful: romanticizing your life. Not in a delusional way, not in a fake positivity way, but in a gentle and intentional way. I think a lot of us are waiting for the better apartment, the better relationships, the better body, the better job, the better version of ourselves. And we quietly tell ourselves, I'll enjoy my life when I travel more, when I earn more, when I feel more confident, or when things are more exciting. But life isn't only happening in the highlight moments, it's happening in the ordinary ones. And if you don't learn to soften into ordinary, you miss most of your life. So, for example, I love going outside to my garden and drinking coffee in the morning while listening to the birds singing. I love going for walks. I love enjoying the nature, and it's, I think, one of the most beautiful things around us, and I feel like people don't appreciate the nature enough. It's just, I think it's amazing, like looking at all the changes throughout the year and the weather and how it's affecting everybody, and it's amazing to watch that. I have a few trees in my garden. I love like doing my walk in the mornings with my cup of coffee and just looking at them and seeing how they're changing every single day. I think it's just the most beautiful thing that can happen. It's very small and simple, but it's very satisfying. It's just very calming and satisfying. It's wonderful. We live in a culture that constantly pushes productivity. Everything has to lead somewhere. Every day has to be optimized. Every moment has to be improving something. And that pressure makes it hard to just exist. To drink your coffee slowly, to walk without headphones, to notice the light through the window, to enjoy a quiet evening without guilt. Romanticizing your life isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about noticing what is already beautiful, even in small ways. For some of us, slowing down feels uncomfortable. If you grew up in chaos, stillness can feel unfamiliar. If you're used to chasing, resting can feel wrong. If you tie your worth to achievement, softness can feel lazy. So you rush, you scroll, you compare, you fill the silence. But there's a different way to live, a way that isn't constantly striving. So I recently learned to slow down in life because there was a time when I kept rushing. I thought if I do more, I'll become a better person and people will appreciate me more. But in reality, I ended up with a really bad burnout, and I just didn't feel like myself again. So I decided to finally slow down and do something about it. And I could see a big difference because my body was used to a very high cortisol levels, and it was just very different experience to finally take a few steps back and just take care of myself and start to do small things that I wanted to do before, and appreciate all the small things that were around me. So I back then I really wanted to go for walks more often. I wanted to read more books and just kind of be able to clear my mind and think about different things than just all the negative ones. And when my body was getting used to that, it was a very interesting experience. I could see that my body was getting like relaxed, but at the same time I was getting stressed and anxious because I was resting, and it was just very difficult for me to get used to the new situation. But I think it just showed me how important it is to just slow down whenever you feel like you need, and not just keep pushing, because that's not going to do anything good for you or your body, and more importantly, your health. Romanticizing your life doesn't require money, it requires presence. Lighting a candle when you clean, making your bed intentionally, taking yourself on a solo coffee date, wearing something that makes you feel good, even if no one sees you. It's treating your everyday life like it matters, because it does. When you romanticize your life, you stop waiting for permission to enjoy it. You give yourself permission. And I have to say that I used to hate doing my makeup. I used to only wear it to work. I realized that if I do a little bit of makeup, like my eyebrows or my lashes, or just something, or just put like a little bit of bronzer, it just makes me feel better. I just noticed that it really makes me feel good about myself, and I like myself without makeup, but just that a little bit of something on my face makes a difference. So when you soften into your life, you feel less desperate for excitement, you feel less dependent on external validation, you feel more grounded in yourself. You start realizing that peace is not boring, it's stabilizing. And when you stop chasing constant stimulation, you start noticing what actually fulfills you. Romanticizing your life builds self-worth quietly, because you're telling yourself, my life is worthy my attention, even now. So gently ask yourself, what part of my daily life am I rushing through? Where can I slow down? What small ritual could I add this week that feels nurturing? So becoming her isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it looks like going to bed earlier, cooking something nourishing, choosing calm over chaos, spending time alone without feeling lonely. She doesn't wait for a new chapter to feel alive. She softens into the one she's in, and the softness is powerful. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take a deep breath before you move on with your day. Look around you gently. There's more beauty here than you think. You're not behind, you're becoming. Thank you for listening once again, and see you tomorrow.